Can anyone? Yesterday we have just discussed a few things about SAP ECC and SAP S4 HANA.
Yeah. We have learned about the means the database about the database. What is the difference between the means S4 HANA and ECC database difference? So we have learned that about
Correct,
that.
correct. So there are a few important things like database perspective and technical terminology wise also we have seen few terminologies and which are morely for a basis consultant. However, we have also gone through, right? And after that, we have seen there is a system landscape also, right?
Yes, sir.
System landscape we have seen. What is a basic system landscape we discussed yesterday?
Yes, sir. We have discussed
What
what
is
is the
it?
basic landscape
Development,
Yeah,
quality, and production, sir.
yeah, quality and production, right?
and production.
If
Yes, sir.
our client has a more budget, okay, what he can do? He can have another, no, landscape can be big also. In between, he can have a, let's say,
Yes, sir.
pre-production, right?
He can
System
add.
sandbox.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. He can add and more means more.
production. Maybe he can
Um,
have a sandbox also. That we discussed, and also
yes,
based on a system landscape, and also we understood what is meant by client, right? Who is client?
yes, sir.
For for whom
Sir, client is nothing. Sir, client is
working,
nothing
right?
but the means highest hierarchy of the SAP systems.
That is in terms of SAP application. Okay, I'm not talking about that client.
Oh,
I am talking about the
okay,
real-time
sir.
business client.
Oh,
So let's say if you're
okay,
working
okay.
for Tata Motors is your client. If you're working for
Yes, yes,
Mercedes Benz is your client, right? We call
yes,
it
sir.
as a client or a customer, right? Customer, client or a customer. Okay, done. This client or customer, what this guy will do, he will give a contract to the IT providers, let's say, and there are many MNCs in a market. Can you hear me? Underground electricity work is going on. Okay, there is a on and off happening today and yesterday also. Okay, we just recapping what is the system landscape. This is the system landscape we discussed, and by now you should understand who is customer also. Uh, Neha, you
Sir,
understood
I'm
what is
unable to
customer?
see your screen.
It's only for you or others also.
Yeah, now I can see.
Okay. So,
No, sir, now
con
I can see.
okay. By now, everybody understood who is a client, right? Still, anybody has any concern?
Understood, sir.
Sujit, you understood? Sujit,
Sir, actually, yes, I understood from for whom we are going to, going to implement the SAP. That is our client, sir.
correct, correct. So,
Yes.
how we get to know this is your client? Because the clients will reach IT providers, set up the SAP system based on their business requirement, right? Based on their requirement, they'll reach IT providers. Who are the IT providers in a market? Can you guys tell me a few names? Wipro, TCS, Tech Mahindra, okay, Infosys, Accenture, Dell, PwC, KPMG, okay, and Deloitte. What else? ENY. There are many companies in the market. Okay, what these guys will do is these guys will recruit the people who are technically skilled in various applications. Okay, like SAP, like Oracle, like Python, various skills. Okay, they'll hire the people. Okay, if any skills, further skills are needed, they'll train them. Okay, and make sure our workforces are ready. these guys will recruit the people and make sure they'll sign a contract with the customers. Let's say in this case, we assume this client is uh, Tata, Tata Motors. Okay, this Tata Motors implementation contract got to any of these no, IT providers. Either it could be Wipro, TCS, Mahindra. Any one of these guys have got it. So if you join in that company, you will become a developer. I said yesterday clearly, right? Based on the contract who got where you join, you will be getting that role, whether it will be a developer or a test engineer or a production support consultant. That piece is also yesterday understood, right? This is a real-time process, I'm telling. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Then what happens the minute, let's say, you join, the minute you join either of the company listed above. Any company you join, let's say, for example, you join in a TCS. And okay, Tata Motors TCS will not align like that. Maybe you join in Infosys. Okay, you join in Infosys. Infosys got a contract to implement this SAP application to Tata Motors. The minute you join, what will happen is first you have to go through a first you have to do some Infosys. What is mean by mandatory training? Anybody know already? Who are working, maybe they know it. What are the mandatory trainings? Can anyone tell me if you know it? Mandatory
Means, sir,
trainings.
every company have some guide.
Hmm.
Sir, every company have some guidelines about their company structures, means company rule and pollution and sorry, the rule and regulations. So this we have need to know. That's why they are providing us the training about these policies.
Policies and procedures about their rules and regulations, we call it as. Okay. So what does it means is uh, what does it mean in simple term? If you join with the Infosys, make sure you are not sharing any information related to Infosys to anybody. Let's say it's a security related information. And as you are working in Infosys, you should not share any Infosys a confidential document to your personal email or so on. And you should not take a liberty to know. So let's say freedom to post any information about Infosys in social medias or no. You have a strict rules and regulations. For that, to understand their rules and regulations, they'll have there's some mandatory courses. There they have some recordings you need to go to. Uh, you need to go to and you need to understand. Okay. So what is the benefit by doing this? Can anybody tell me why they'll do that? What happen if they don't do it? What is the
Sir,
instant
actually
intention?
we
Hmm.
need,
Hmm.
sir, their intention is that we have need to know and means in a after joining that's we are not doing this type of mistakes in our means periods. That's why they have given the this type of training to us.
Oh, okay.
So to reduce the organizational risks, I mean, they deal with higher amounts of money or anything. So they also
Reputation,
want
right?
to assure
Yeah.
that, yes.
Hmm. Okay. So this is simple. Okay. If this guy Infosys, whatever business he's doing, if you lose the information, there is a competition in the market based on a wins. If Infosys got some big contract and he published it in the internal media, okay. From there you post, it will be a complication to Infosys in a market, right? So there is a problem. That is the reason everything is confidential and they have some ethics also. They have some principles, they follow some values you need to understand before start working with Infosys. These are the mandatory things. Okay. from your company perspective. Let's say if you join in TCS, this is in terms of TCS policy. So likewise, later you join in a Tata Motors, right? Again, you need to do the same for Tata Motors. Why? Again, client side you need to do. So here we take an example Infosys, right? This is not TCS. You join in Infosys. Infosys policies are all you read, and there will be a small assessments also. Simple questions they'll ask, and you need to fill so that you will get a certification. Every year you need to do the same policies. There will be changes. Uh, Simple things. Let's say when you go for a travel on site on a business purpose, you should not no, submit any fake bills. It should be genuine. These all you read and you got a certification. You completed these mandatory trainings. Later, Infosys ask you to now work for Tata Motors. The minute you join with the Tata Motors, again in Tata Motors they have their own internal policies and courses also. Again, you need to complete those courses also. Here, you understood why you need to obey Tata Motors policies also, because from day one or when you join in a project, from there you are working for Tata Motors, not for Infosys, right? Infosys internal purpose. Whatever work Infosys are assigning you, you are working and Infosys is paying you. But how Infosys is getting money from a Tata Motors, right? Tata Motors and Infosys has agreement to develop a system. So there you are working so that Infosys is getting paid from Tata Motors. So that is the reason we make sure in real time you need to complete the mandatory trainings when once you join in a job for your company whom recruited you and for the client whom you selected. So maybe they'll give you 2 days, 3 days time to complete all these mandatory trainings. Meantime, they'll arrange for you access. Let's say to a new email box you will get. One new one email box you will get for a Infosys. Let's say Outlook. Get one from Infosys. What is happening in Infosys? Infosys related information, everything you will get to this email ID. The minute you join with the Tata Motors, you will get an Outlook from a Tata Motors client also.
So what's an Outlook?
It's a mailbox. All business communication, like your Gmail you have, right?
Okay.
Likewise, we have an Outlook, which is used for all official communication purpose. Here, make sure the
Okay.
very important thing. What all the communication you do internal Infosys, you have to use internal mailbox and email ID, Teams, whatever a media they provide. But whenever you use for work for a Tata Motor business related documents you are sharing to somebody in a team, you are receiving, you are charting, you are doing anything business communication. You need to strictly use Outlook, which is provided by Tata Motors, and the email ID is provided by Tata Motors. You should not mix up the things. Hey, once you join in a company, maybe you feel that Tata Motors blueprint is very informative, and let me share the blueprint to my personal email ID, let's say ID. You just feel it's a good and you send immediately. What happens? Immediately there will be backtracking. Everything will be audited by the system. They'll easily understand you send something to your personal ID, which is very confidential information about your client. Immediately there will be action and they'll terminate you from a job. Sometimes they'll no, go for a legal.
Actually, sir, at the time of sending, suppose we are to any personal email ID, so automatically one message will come that you are not supposed to send to the outsider of this organization. I
You will
have
get.
faced this. Yes,
You will just see a indication. Hey, you are sending this to
yes.
external email ID. You will see the minute you type your ID. Hey, this is not a internal. Internal email ID is different. Your personal email ID is different. Still you send, it will go, but maybe after some time you lose your job and sometimes legal actions also will be taken care. That is the reason you should be very careful and real time. So you should understand these are the real time things. Once you join only you come to know it, but before only you were getting a feel of it. Got it? You will have a two email IDs. One is for your company, the other one is from your client. So client purpose, whatever work you are doing, you have to use client email ID which is provided to you. Got it? And nothing to be shared. So what to share, how to behave, how to work, everything will be covered in this policy. Okay, internal their policy, everything will be covered and you will learn there. There is no need to worry. Okay. So next point, the second point is, let's say in Tata Motors, the client, say total team members. How many team members? How many team members will be there? Any idea? So let's say we are the FICO consultants, right? So based on a work of which we are going to do to Tata Motors, let's say we thought FICO consultants are needed 5 members. Out of 5 members, two are senior resources and three are associates. Okay? Total 5 members, out of two are the senior and three people are the associate level, and it means a junior level. And only with the FICO we can deliver everything to Tata Motors. Is it possible? In a real time, in your team, who are all will be there with you? Any idea?
Project manager will be with us, sir.
Ah,
Sir, not only project manager, but also they are the team lead, take care of our work. So maybe these guys are available in there.
okay. Okay. So here one more step. Okay. The minute you join in Infosys, okay, to get into the project, there will be a project interview in between. Okay. Once you join with Infosys, again, there will be a project interview from Tata Motors. If you select, you will get that project. We call it as everything is a project. So the minute you join Infosys, okay, there will be a project interview arranged. Maybe sometimes it will happen before only. Let's say today there is an interview conducted by Infosys, you selected, maybe tomorrow they release you an offer letter. After 2 days or 3 days, directly somebody will pick your resume from Infosys database. This guy is going to join you in the next month, maybe after 30 days, after 40 days. Okay, what they'll do is they'll pick all the resumes in a database based on the skills they require. They'll call you on a mobile. Okay, so I'm calling from Infosys, and is it right time to discuss? I got your profile, and there is a requirement in Tata Motors. Will you be interested to work with us? They'll ask. It's a very political. Let's say politely they'll ask, and it's not like that big interview, but definitely they'll ask you what kind of skill set they're looking in FSCO. What are the areas you have a knowledge? What is the requirement in their project? They'll ask you clearly. If you're fine and you express it all the things in a good manner, if the interviewer is happy, they'll take you into that project. What if you are not performed well in that interview? They'll say, I'm not okay with this candidate, his skill set is not matching for my requirement. He'll pass on the information internally. Next, no need to worry. You will get a one more call maybe after 1 week, maybe immediately also you can get, maybe you can get a call from Mercedes Benz client. So Infosys also supporting for Mercedes Benz. In Mercedes Benz, they'll ask you, they'll take a discussion, initial discussion. If you're fine in a discussion, everything is good, fine, then you'll select for Mercedes Benz. Before you join only, they'll reserve you. So and so candidate, I am reserving. This candidate is fit for this role in my project. I was already taking a technical discussion. This guy is fine. Okay. So the minute you join in Infosys, directly from the second day onwards, you'll be maybe sometimes first day onwards, they'll report you in a project. Project in a sense, they'll allocate you in a system. This guy is working for this project. So the client will be Mercedes-Benz. It could be Tata Motors, wherever you assign. So later you will get a client access and you need to mandatory courses based on their policies you need to complete, and slowly you'll get to know each and everyone in a project. That is how it will happen. So let us discuss the second point, which is a team. In a team, who all will be there? Who all will be there with you in a team? Let us discuss. What does it mean by SAP? You guys already told me. Can you just repeat what is mean by SAP? What is mean by
System.
SAP? System, application, and products in data processing, right?
And data
Products.
processing.
It's not
Yes.
only single product. Each product we call it as a module. Here we named as two modules, FI and CO. And there are other modules also, right? You have
Yes.
MM. MM is material management. In MM, we need a three consultants. Let's say one is a senior. Let's say two are a juniors. Likewise, you have a SD, right? Maybe
Yes,
in
sir.
SD we need a four.
Sales and distribution.
Yeah, two senior consultants and two associates or juniors. What else we have?
So production and planning.
PP. Let's say in PP we need three people, two seniors and one junior. Next,
And human resource.
HCM. Let's say HCM is I'm done with one person, one senior is fine.
Okay.
Next, speak out, Shashikant, Sujit, tell me.
So quality management and all are also considered.
FSCM, sir, is also required. FSCM, financial supply chain.
FSCM. Okay, we'll talk about later. Yeah. What else?
So quality management.
That is not mandatory.
Okay. Customer service.
Customer service, yes. That is also one of the functional module. If you want, we can have one senior. So again,
CRM, sir. CRM, customer relationship management.
CRM also. If so, again, I'm telling what are the modules, individual modules. I'm adding a resource low level. It's not a big. I'm adding only one head count. I'm adding for this modules. Why? Because here the work is straightforward and limited, so that one senior can be managed. And also, you think I'm just writing down here. It is up to the client decision. How many modules Tata Motors exactly needed in his business, his role of business. Okay, this is not something we have to write all the existing modules in a SAP here. No. Okay. So normally what are the main modules or exist? Those module people he'll recruit. Okay. If he is not activated so and so module, and if he recruited and he is paying money easily, that will not happen, right? Everything is counted. How many people are needed based on a skill sets, what we are going to activate, that many people only will recruit in a project. Otherwise, simply nobody will pay a salary, right? Anybody will pay? No, right? That is how it will work. 10. What else? Tell me. That's all? You know anything about basis?
Yes, sir. There is basis and above modules.
One senior, two junior. Next, ABAP, right?
ABAP.
Yes, sir. Sir,
Maybe
means except apart from FICO, there is another module for special maintenance of asset.
which one?
For management of asset.
Uh, your voice is not that much clear. Can you come again?
Means, sir, apart from FICO, in a company, their asset for their asset management, they are using separate module, na?
So no. Asset module also, if you're talking about asset migration things, that and all okay. But asset is your subledger, right? So if there is anything specific to asset accounting, that much scope I have. While the person who is recruiting here, he'll recruit a people. Among these five, there is a candidate who is already having a thorough knowledge in asset accounting side also. Okay.
Okay, okay,
B- Based on a
okay,
scope, I'll not only recruit a person who is having asset accounting. That is not possible, right? So there is no
okay,
use of taking it also. So
okay,
no. So whenever we are recruiting a people, so what interviewer will do in this particular project, what is a necessary? What all the configurations we are going to activate? I'll only screen on that areas. The other areas are not matter for me in this project. Here, I need specifically what I'm going to activate, that skill set I need it. If the candidate is having that much experience and knowledge, then I'm happy to take. You got it? And also I'll
yes, sir.
compare based on a previous experience. If this person has a previous similar experience which is useful for Tata Motors, then I'll take happily. Okay. While taking interview, there are few parameters also. Okay. Generally, when we are taking interview, we have a first thing JD, right? Job description.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Based on a job description is nothing but what exactly we need to deliver to this client, so and so client. Based on that, the interview JD will be designed and interview will be discussed accordingly. Yeah, we'll go there one step by step. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. This,
Sir,
this is
warehouse management.
yes, that is also WM. If you have this BW also, if you need to have any backup, BW also you can put. Okay, you can add as many as
Yes, sir.
I'm telling. How many 70, 80 modules you have in SAP, you can add everything, but it doesn't make any
Yes, sir.
sense, right? So
Okay.
let's say you have project systems also, right? You can add project systems also, but it depends on a customer to customer. But in real time, I don't see this many modules are activated. Okay. So these will be activated, but limited service. Let's say healthcare industry, they need a customer services module. Okay, maybe they don't need a warehouse management. Everybody needs a BWs. They need a project system. SCM is needed everybody. In-house production, if anybody manufacturing company is there, they definitely need this PP. If you are doing a service industry, you don't need a PP module, right? But FICO, MMSD, and HCM. These are the four important things. Okay, these are the four important things. So with this, you can run. But there are a few technical modules also we are discussing now.
Sir,
Basis.
sir, actually,
Hmm.
Ariba is the one module, na?
So Hariba is on a procurement side. Let's say it's a third-party integration. Okay. So there are applications in a market. Let's say I want to use dedicatedly one application to create a vendor quotations, purchase requisitions, and purchase orders. Automatically, system has to create a purchase order. That kind of stuff to support. SAP has come up with this Ariba also. Okay, those applications are already tightly integrated with your but that is separate license. License in a sense you need to pay extra money while you are taking a license. Tata Motors has to tell, I also need Ariba, including module. Okay, those are the additional things in a particular module wise. Okay, but don't get into that areas now. Let us understand slowly one by one. Okay, you remember we have a freshers also in a session. Okay, you don't, if you talk about Ariba, they'll think what is Ariba now only. Okay, let us stick to the straightforward modules and let us understand the base. Later we'll discuss it. When we are talking about real-time scenarios, we'll discuss in detail. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so basis we have ABAP, you have what else we have in here?
Sir, pi,
PA,
pi.
PO. PA, PO, those are the different things we'll discuss in a real time.
Okay.
What else? You have a S&D team, right? What is mean by S&D team? S&D means security and authorization team. Okay. And you have one more guy, EAM, or a master data. Okay. You'll understand what is EAM, what is master data. EAM in a sense, enterprise information management. Okay. Let's say we need two seniors, one senior and one junior. Okay, if we count everybody, let's say if we count everything, how many people we have now in a project? There are 32 people in a project. But we have an important person we have not added yet, but Sujit already told. There's a guy, team manager or a project manager. Right word is project manager. Okay, what this guy will do? What this guy will do? One person. Total headcount in this project, 33 people. Okay. Total FTEs, we can call it as FTEs are a headcount. So the project manager main role and responsibility is he has to make sure in a project everything is executing as per the plan. There is no deviation. In case of any deviation, any problem, any issue, he has to inform to the management and he has to get it resolved. Okay. So here also, there is a word, functional consultant and technical consultant. What is the difference between functional consultant and technical consultant? Can somebody tell me?
So, functional consultant works on the modules which are already pre-existing, and he works on customizing them. And a
Mhm.
technical consultant works on developing new modules or uh, new segments.
Okay. Anybody?
Sir, functional consultant means those consultant who are working for the clients. Means suppose if you looking at the FIC or MMASD and the other those are except ABAP and BASIS, other those are working for the clients. Means we are related to the client directly. But where we comes to the ABAP and the BASIS teams are working for us. Means what we have need, they are guide to us. That's the means functional and the technical modules.
Okay. So, moreover, you guys said rightly, but let me tell you, functional consultant in a sense, to perform these roles, let's say to understand this and to configure this functionalities in a system, including this SAP application knowledge. Okay, if you learn you will become a consultant or engineer in SAP. If you learn Oracle, you will become an Oracle consultant. If you learn JD Edwards, you will become a JD Edwards consultant. But wherever you go, whatever fashion you have in a function set, you will also have some functional knowledge, right? Not application set. This module, what it is talking, let's say it is talking F5, it is talking a control, it is talking material management, it is sales and distribution. You should have a
Sir, more
generic knowledge, right? Yeah, go on.
yes, sir. Actually, functional consultant means those who have subject matter expert regarding
Correct,
the suppose FI.
correct,
And
correct,
technical things, whatever the subject knowledge I have to suppose to share with the ABAPer on the basis of his technical knowledge. He will prepare the design or anything.
okay, yeah, we'll go there. Yeah,
Because ABAPer does not know the rules of debit and credit, but the
correct,
functional consultant rule know the debit and credit rule. That is the
Correct.
difference,
Perfect.
as I know, sir.
Correct. So why we are choosing FICO? Because this is more related to your knowledge or your education qualification or your ongoing education, whatever, or job experience you have, which is suits you more in FICO. That is the reason you are choosing FICO module, not SD or not PP or not HCM. Why? Right? You have some knowledge. Rather, you leave it. SAP, you leave it. However, you have some functional knowledge, right? That is where we call them as functional consultants. They are already having a functional knowledge, including functional knowledge. They know how the specific modules works in SAP. That is where we call them as a functional consultant. And the other thing is, in SAP, every application, every configuration, every process works on a program. What? Every process in SAP works with program. So program, in a sense, you will not work on any coding, right? Do we work on any coding? No, right? We will not work any coding, nothing. But SAP to work these modules, any module, FICOM, all modules, every module, every transaction, every screen is linked to one program. Okay, when you are working something, let's say I've opened this Excel. How it is open based on some source code, it is showing here. In the backend, some developer has done this. Okay, that is the reason I am able to use it. As a functional learner, I know it how to use a Excel. Okay, I am a functional user for this Excel application. Likewise, in SAP, whoever are working, for them to support programmatically, we need a ABAP. Okay, we need a ABAP. Every transaction, whether you're doing a configuration, whether you are posting any transaction, every screens are interlinked to program. Let's say if FI consultant facing some issue related to program, FI consultant cannot fix this program related error, right? He has to reach to ABAPer and he has to inform to the ABAPer. How we need to inform, there is a functional specification. They'll not understand our language. As you said, there are some parameters to communicate to ABAPer that will learn slowly, one by one. For now, yes, there is a programmatical error identified by FI consultant. He cannot fix this by himself. He need to reach to ABAPer. Likewise, CRM consultant is working, and while he's doing some configuration, he also found some programmatical error. He has to reach to ABAPer again. ABAPer has to help. Let's say project systems consultant facing some programmatical error. Program is not compiling and it's giving us some dump or some error it is giving. He has to reach to ABAPer. Likewise, in a functional side, how many consultants you have? These many consultants. Let's say these are 21 and you have two here, 23. That's all. 23 consultants. Among these 23, if anybody has any concern on program related, these four above us need to help. Okay, they don't have a dedicated work. They are responsible for all the programs in SAP. Whoever need a help, they are there to support. That is their job in a project. uh, what does it mean by programmatical errors, how they look like? We'll get it, no problem, we'll get it, we'll see. Once we get into the SAP system, we'll get a program related above dumps and issues. There we can clearly make a note of in a one word file so that you'll understand. You feel like, yes, if in case I'll get this kind of errors, I need to reach to the ABAPer. If you don't know this background, if you join directly in a project, what you will do? Okay, you don't know whom to ask also, right? So in between, if you ask directly somebody, hey, this simple thing you don't know, they'll ask, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Process step by step, how to process, how to talk, how to communicate. Okay, what is the way to ask, where to not ask, what ask, what not to ask. Everything you should know. Then only you will become a real-time consultant, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
So ABAP will help anything related to programmatical issue, but he is there to support all the functional consultants. Normally, functional consultants will configure based on a business requirement. They'll get program related issues and they'll ask ABAP for help to fix. And there is one more part where SAP is providing some functionality that is not happy by the customer. They want more functionalities to be added. It means there is some more steps to be added to the existing program that we call it as enhancement, development. The things we'll discuss in a real time. For now, you don't know, mind anything. Just follow me what I'm telling. So we understood these are the functional consultant. This guy is above is a program related concerns he'll resolve. We call it as a developer. And we have one more guy, basis. What is his role? Basis consultant. What this guy will do? Yesterday I told you.
So user ID activation and to whom the authorization will be given, up to which part, like this.
All the setup and maintenance. Okay. So to work these many people are working in SAP application. But there is one person or two person to take care of SAP application, right? Somebody has to set up application, right? They have to configure a system. They have to install operating system. They have to connect to the server. They have to create a user IDs for everybody. They have to activate. They have to give the access for you based on your roles. There is somebody to take care of SAP application also, right? Performance related issue. There are many things, right? So if these many people are working, how much business data load I have? Let's say how many business users are going to use SAP application? How much RAM size I should have? How much hard disk I should maintain in a database? So this kind of all the information, all the setup will be taken care by basis consultant. SAP application take care is basis consultant. Yes or no? If you are not able to log into the SAP application, will you able to do your work? No, right? In that case, ABAP also cannot help you. ABAP only help you when system is running up and running fine, but still you have some problem in particular program. There ABAP will help you. But if a system is dead slow, let's say you trying to post any vendor invoice, it's rounding for let's say 10 minutes. It's rounding. Will the user wait for 10 minutes? You are in a store. He want to buy, let's say, iPhone or anything you want to buy, or else any computer you want to buy, or else somebody came to Tata Motor showroom to buy a car. Okay, he need to generate an invoice and he need to give. Will that guy wait? Hey boss, my system is very slow. You wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Will he wait? No, right? So tell me, will they say, let's say, you give me money and take the car and I'll give you invoice tomorrow? Is that possible? No, right?
No, sir.
So system performance is issue means application related any concern, basis consultant has to help. Let's say I could not able to post a vendor invoice, particular vendor invoice I was not able to post. That is a functional issue. That functional consultant has to work. While posting a invoice, if program is giving a error, that ABAPer has to work. I am trying to post the invoice, but the system performance is very worse and it's taking too much time. In that case, basis consultant has to work. This is a simple understanding. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Others? So you'll understand everything, you'll understand one by one. But for now, this is a base. Immediately joining in office, nobody will ask you to work, okay? This is a process, it will happen before only you are understanding. Okay, these many people will be there with you in a project. So this kind of different skill set people you have. So there is a project manager. This is a total headcount project. So what kind of person will support what kind of issues that we understood now. And what is this EAM or a master data? What is this SNDT? You'll understand little later, maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. You'll understand. For now, don't put your mind here. Okay. So far, any concerns? Here, any concerns? Any concerns or no? I'll take it as a no. Okay. So everything is settled. We have a project. We have a team. We know everybody. Okay. And I told you in the beginning of the class, Tata Motors will give a contract to one IT provider. Let's say we call it as Infosys. Okay. So to understand initially, I told you Tata Motors will give entire development contract to Infosys. Okay. In reality, no. He'll not give it to one vendor. In development also, he'll involve different partners, IT partners. Why? Why he'll not give to one person? Can anybody tell me? So among these modules, he'll split and he'll give different contracts to different IT providers. Why? Let's say functional consultant contract will be given to Infosys. This part is signed to Infosys. Technical, maybe they will sign to Atos. Atos is also a MNC, software MNC. Okay, tell me why they'll do this kind of a split again. Maybe if you want to do it, ABAP only will give to Atos. Maybe basis they'll give to Mindtree. Okay, technical consultant is related to program. Why? You guys have to answer me. Shashikant, tell me why they'll give different IT partners in implementation also.
Sir, actually, they have want to means the real scenario for the business. Means suppose anybody does anything means any problems, so that's why they are giving the means they have need the right solution. So they are
Hmm.
means split the means the modules.
Hmm. Correct. So they'll give the authorities differently. Why? If everything, entire project is in a control with one IT provider, let's say Infosys, inside a project, what is happening, customer doesn't know exactly, right? They'll manage internally. Whatever they want to update to the client, that information only will come in a update call or a stand-up call, whatever. Whatever they committed to tell, they'll tell the same. They'll manage internally, right? Yes or no? And
Yes,
we
sir.
don't know how much quality they are maintaining also. We don't know how many issues currently they have also. They'll not tell truly. If we involve different IT partners, right? So Infosys will complain on Atos. Atos will complain on Mindtree, right? What these guys will say, I'm trying to configure, I'm getting a program errors. Atos guys, I've informed they are not working. Then Atos will say, hey, when I am trying to fix, I am getting a system performance issue. System is not responding. I have already informed to Mindtree. It's a game, right? In real time, how it will be? It will be process A to Z, Z to A, like this. Okay. There is a process for everything. So among these three IT providers, they want to prove themselves and they want to be top of it all the time. They want to be top of it and they make sure their process is running smoothly. They don't have any issues. In case of any issue, somebody is not working, so my work is hampering. Likewise, they'll with that attitude they'll work very responsibly. Ownership they'll take and they'll work nicely, right? So customer out of this customer, what he'll get? He'll get a nice quality. He'll like he feel like on time project will also be delivered, right? There is no delay in that. You got it? So only the difference is yesterday we discussed development will be given to one IT provider only. In real time, the development also based on the modules, based on the products, customer will select different IT providers to make the competition, no, no, let them work very effectively. So and so that project will be delivered on time and with the quality. That is the main intention. And there is a one more important role I told you, right? Which is a project manager. So project manager role, there are two options. So project manager will be from a client side. Client side in the sense Tata Motors. So or else maybe project manager can be from, let's say, either of one. They'll hand over to Infosys or Atos or Mindtree. If you want to bring one more IT provider, let's say Dell, he want to bring, he can bring one more guy also, Dell. So this role he want to give it to Dell, or he want to keep it with himself. Let's say he'll recruit one person who is already having a project management experience, maybe 15 years, 20 years of experience. He'll recruit and he'll introduce these 32 people. Hey, so and so, Satya is your project manager. Okay, and he'll introduce. So that all these 32 members has to report this person, project manager, and internally there will be calls. We'll discuss. We are going to discuss now. All these guys have to responsible to update project manager inside a project. What is happening? He get to know it later. He'll update to the management, Tata Motors management, high level management, CFO and directors. That people will get update from project manager. There is a hierarchy followed in a organizations. Always remember, if your senior is very friendly with you or not, but the thing is, as a protocol, if any concern you have, any information you want to pass, you have to pass to your senior only, your team lead or team manager, whatever there in your skill FICO, you have to inform them. Okay, that person will inform to project manager. You cannot directly go and update to the project manager, and this will cause some issues later point in time. Okay, there is a hierarchy. Always you have to follow hierarchy. So I hope you got my point, right? What will happen if you go directly and give an update to project manager? In between your team, you don't have a understanding, right? That is a big problem, right? If everybody is not understood and working as a team, there will be a problem, right? Yes or no? As a team player, we have to work. That always, please remember, if somebody's behavior is not okay with you, there is a way to express to him, there is a way to take it up. But in a work front, whatever work assigned to you, you have to work on, you have to deliver. That mindset you keep in your mind and follow. Otherwise you have to struggle a lot. Okay, you are not able to work properly, you are not able to mingle in a project. It causes other issues. Okay, better. As a real time experiences, I am telling, I've seen many things. Okay, done. Project manager is there, we have a team. Now what is the next step? Tell me, guys. Now what is the next step? Tell me. Tell me, Shashikant, Jahnavi, Sujit, what do we have to do next? So before we execute anything, do we need a plan or not? Do we need a plan or not? We need a plan. We have a timeline, right? So Tata Motors, what he will say, hey, in 8 months, maybe 1 year time, I need my system move to SAP. Currently, maybe I'm using Tally or Kill, maybe whatever system I'm using. From beginning of the next financial year, which is the 1st of April, because my company is situated in India, I prefer for my reporting Indian fiscal year, which is a April 1st. From April 1st onwards, I want to go in SAP system. No more legacy system will be used. Legacy in a system. Legacy system means before SAP, what was the system the client is using? That system name we call it as a legacy system. Okay. So that based on that understanding, we need to have a proper plan, right? We have to plan. So, and a project preparation, we call it as. And SAP also given hey, the minute you purchase application, to implement this application to your business requirement, I am proposing one approach or an implementation methodology, that is SF methodology. You heard? In SAP ECC we use this methodology. What is mean by SF methodology? Can anybody tell me who is know already?
So ASAP methodology means the accelerated SAP application and product for in data processing. That means in ASAP methodology there are the 5 stages when we are going to implementing the SAP in our in our organization. That time we have followed this methodology. Means this is there are given some certain rules and the steps we have need to maintain it. If we will go through these steps, then we will be easily to reach our goals. That's the ASAP methodology. Means the first phase is the project preparation, and the second is business blueprint. Third is the realization, and the fourth one is the final preparation, and fifth one is the go live, and sixth is the go live and support. Means the support.
Okay, good. So others, don't worry, this is nothing. Preparation. The final one is go live and support. Okay. So once we get a project, if you think so, there should be a proper alignment. If FICO has to do some work, which is dependent to MM has to do some work, which is FICO has a dependency. Likewise, there is a dependency between one module to another module. Okay, and also based on a business requirement, we have to configure the things or develop the application. Okay, in a phases manner. Okay, so it's not like I've learned SAP FICO, I know this configuration, so just give me this information, I'll configure in a system, and so that my work will be completed. That is not the way. There is a proper approach we need to follow while implementing, okay, so that everything will be aligned and everything will be properly configured based on a business requirement, and which will be worked fine later also. That is the reason SAP has suggested one approach which is called SF methodology, and there are 5 stages. One is a project preparation. In a project preparation, what kind of activities we do? First one is project team finalization and planning. Already we have a project team finalized, right? How many team members we have in a project? Including project manager, we have 32, 33 team members, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
We have 33 members. So I hear what we'll discuss. We have a number. We need to have a scope also. So who all are there in a project? Okay, they should understand, hey, we are committed to work for Tata Motors implementation. What is the project tenure? Everybody has a right to know it and they have to remember it or no? Tell me. Everybody has to, FICO, that is fine. But project front also, what is going to happen in the next 5 days, 10 days, in a month, in a 2 months, you should understand, right?
Yes, sir. We have
Clearly
need
or
to
no?
understand the scenario. Means what is the requirement and what is the going on of the current scenario, and what will be the next will be. We have need to know as a functional guys. We have need to know.
Correct. Now that is second step. First, project high level wise. Okay, if you join in one project, in next to 6 months, 8 months, what is going to happen? So what is the duration of a project? You should plan everything, right? Accordingly, you take a decision to join in this project. Before they take an interview, they'll tell you this is a fresh implementation for Tata Motors. This is a long-term project. Are you able to continue long-term period? It's not a short term. If you want to go in between a project, no, will not give you opportunity. Likewise, we need to think about project manager, leads, their job roles also we need to think. If you're there for a 2 months, you did something and you go out of the project, again they have to bring in new people, they have to train, they lose the time, right? However, you give some KT value going, but that is not effective, right? Whoever there from a beginning, they'll have a grip, right? They'll have a clear understanding what is happening in a project. If you bring a senior also, 10 years experience guy also in a project, there is a associate consultant who is there from a beginning. Already 3 months are passed. You bring one senior guy. So senior is okay. He know how to handle the things. But project wise knowledge, who is having more? The associate consultant who is there from the beginning, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is very important. Okay. So there is no junior senior in a IT side. Okay. Who is knowing what? Yes. If it is right, right. If senior also there is a situation he don't know some point. He has to learn and do it. He has to listen. Likewise, we have to exchange our ideas also. That is where initial planning commitment should be there. And we have finalized the project team, and we have a planning. So, uh, including that, what project manager will do? He'll do a kickoff meeting. What does it mean by kickoff meeting? So, everybody has to introduce themselves and they have to be uh, understood. We all are one team, right? So, we have just updated in a Excel. These many members are from these many modules, but this project manager has to align everybody in a one call and he has to give an introduction on a project, right? He'll set up a one big call and he'll introduce, hey guys, he'll just give you a no, welcome, warm welcome, and he'll give introduction about himself first. He's from where and how many years of experience he has, how many project previously he delivered. So everything he'll explain. Later he'll ask one by one person. Okay, there is a hierarchy. First, in each modules wise, they'll know it. By now, I know it, right? In this module, who are these two senior guys? Who is the primary contact in FSCO? Who is the primary contact in MM? Likewise, in every module, he'll get a list. He'll introduce that person. Hey, this person is a team lead for FICO. Hey, Uday or Giri, can you just give a introduction on yourself and your team along with? So what that guy will say, he'll introduce himself and his experience. Similarly, how many implementations he worked, what was his previous experience, what kind of industries he worked, let's say manufacturing, retail, service sectors, whatever he worked, he'll tell. Later, he'll ask his team members to give an introduction. When your turn come, you have to be sure. You have to just explain your no, how many years of experience you have, kind of projects you worked. Few people will say what are the areas they are strong. Also, they'll say in FI I am strong in this areas. In CO I am strong in this areas. Likewise, everybody will give an introduction so that we get to know from in case of any concern is there in MM, I need to contact whom in SD, who is a point of contact. Likewise, everybody get to know from one to each other, right? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, right?
Yes, sir.
So nowadays, not a nowadays, from a long, the minute everything is kickoff meeting is done, this project manager will create one a WhatsApp group. Okay. He'll name it as Tata Motors, a pilot patch or something. He'll name it. He'll add everybody in a WhatsApp group. Okay. So to get to know daily updates, let's say if somebody is going an emergency leave, something, we can chart there. And in case of any priority issues, also, let's say Krishna is not there today. Who is his backup? Can somebody help me on this? I stuck with this. So that what is happening in a project, everybody get to know it. Okay, that is secondary. Anyway, we'll go there also. So the kickoff meeting is done. Here, the kickoff meeting, in a sense, it's only with the IT team, right? These all are who? These all are IT people, right? These are application related people. Do we have anybody here from a business? We have anybody here from a business?
No.
No, right? But
No.
without business, we cannot do anything, right?
Yes.
Why we need a business? What happen if you don't have a business people?
Sir, in the means in a project preparation stages, just this is the means the project manager will assign to all the functional guys from the means the service given sites, means the IT sites. But when we comes to the business blueprint stages, that time the client will provide the means the core team member of the means specialization industry. Means see on the specialization department, suppose anybody have the good knowledge of a finance department, then the client will give to him the chance to the explanation of their current business scenario, what is going on of their business. So in the means business blueprint stages, we have need the business sides. But when it comes to the project preparation, in project preparation sites, we are all the IT people who are working there.
Correct. Here, this is a preparation. The project manager has a responsibility to explain everybody in a project what is a project roadmap, where are we starting, how it is going to be happen. Okay, everything he'll explain. And also he'll explain what are the tools we are going to use. Everything he'll explain. Okay. Once we have everything ready, the next step is the project manager will introduce us to the business. What he'll do, he'll understand the IT, and we need to understand the business, right? We are not sure how Tata Motors is doing a business, right? So we need to understand the business process, right? Do we need to understand or not? If we need to build application for Tata Motors, we need to understand first their business, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So we need to connect with the business respective department people to understand their current business process and their expectations on SAP. Okay. First, we need to understand how they are doing their business in current application. Currently, they have not stopped their business, right? So they buy the SAP license, they have not activated yet, but currently they are doing a business. We'll connect with the business. We'll connect with the business in a sense. So again, in a client side, let's say FICO people will go and connect with HR people. So I'm telling FICO consultants from IT in a business side go and talk with the HR manager.
No.
No,
No. Here also,
those
based on, yeah, go on.
those who are accountant in the business or in the client side, FICA consultant will go and interact with him, sir.
Correct. Okay. Here, based on your functional IT roles, in a business also, there are roles, right? You guys know it. There are departments, right? Different departments. There will be accounts department. There is a marketing department. There is a sales. There is sorry, HR department. There are company secretaries, legal, taxation. There are many departments in our organization. Production, let's say spare parts, storage management. Okay, in case of warehouse management, warehouse related, IT side, let's say business warehouse. There are many people on a business side also. There are many departments. What client will say is, hey, whenever FICO team members, whenever team members, he'll give a authority in their client side. If any concern, any information you want to understand, business perspective, you reach to this manager. He is a accounts manager. He is a finance manager. He is a tax manager. He is a HR department person. He is a HR head. He is a production head. He is a sales and distribution. He is a marketing. What Tata Motors will say, they'll dedicatedly introduce a project support team from their end also. Until business support, IT cannot deliver nothing, right? They have to support us. They have to tell us what they needed. They have a delegation authority from a client. Client has chosen based on their skills, their experience in their no, company. They have given a list of people to our project manager. Our project manager has rolled this information to individual functional team leads. Okay, he'll send the details to individual functional team leads. So among that list, FICO consultant understand easily. I need to talk to uh, manager accountant, manager finance, manager taxation. Few components related to HR manager also I need to talk. So with this, what will happen? Everybody will align separately with the business people and they'll start understanding their current process. Yes or no? They have to understand their process, right? Everybody has to understand their own specific process, how they are doing currently, right? Yes or no?
Sir,
Yes. So, out of this, what we'll get to know is we'll understand their as is process, right? What we'll understand here, we will understand their as is process. What is the term called as is process?
Sir, as is the means the business scenario of the clients.
Correct. So current, whatever a business they are doing currently, that process we call it as a as is process. And also we document it. We will understand their as is process and we document this. Document it in a sense, there is a format, dedicated formats will be created in a project. Let's say what is a document name, what is a version, who is the author, who is a reviewer. There is a standard templates will be there. We'll be using that one. It's nothing but a Word file. Okay, Word file. So why we need to document it? What is the reason? They're explaining, you are listening. Can we leave it like that, right? Why we need to document it?
Because
for future
we
reference, sir.
There will be audit also. Later, the business people will come and say, I didn't tell this to you. Why you wrote this? Why you understand like this? I didn't tell you. We have to tell, hey, I've taken a requirement from you. See, this is the document. You are the reviewer. I got the approval from you, right? Everything should be documented, right? It's not like somebody is blaming you, you are blaming somebody. No, it has to go on a process. Mm, Looking at the many things in a project, maybe they'll forget. Maybe you forgot. There could be a chance. That is the reason everything should be recorded. Okay. In FSCO, you have a 5 members. When you are discussing, you have a 5 people. Let's say you are an associate consultant. Your team lead is talking to the business and he is collecting the details. So, as an associate, what is your role in that meeting? What do you do? Maybe it could be a virtual meeting in a Teams. Maybe it could be direct. We can go to the on-site. Let's say it is an Indian company, right? Maybe we can go to Tata Motors head office. In a conference room, we can sit with the business people. We are talking. We are asking them. They are helping to understand, and maybe they are showing their current system, how they are processing. Everything they'll show you, right? As an associate, what you do in a no in a discussion, what exactly you have to do? Maybe in other words, you don't know. That is the reason I want to tell you.
I can exchange my knowledge, sir. Whatever the being accepted, whatever the functional knowledge I have supposed to use.
You also have to interact with your skills, right? But interact in a sense, you should not. If you're not sure something, you should not talk. That is first thing. Which is not related to you, which is not fully sure from you, you should not talk. You should not bring the topic. In case if you want to tell anything, first you have to inform your senior. Okay. Hey, they are telling like this. I have this concern. Can we ask this question to them? So that we'll get a more understanding. You can give the your opinion, your suggestions, your concerns to your superior. Let's say who is in IT side. You cannot go directly and raise a concerns to the business people directly. This is the first protocol you should follow. And the second protocol, whatever discussion is happening, you have to list them. Okay, you take a book and you write down whatever question we asked, what is a concern, how whatever our team leaders told. Okay, what is the gap? So something like that. Whatever is discussion is happening, try to make a notes. We call it as a minutes of meeting. right? Once the discussion is done, we have to send the minutes also. Maybe your team lead will ask you, hey, Krishna, can you write a minutes of meeting for this? So you have to be very concentrate, and you have to be note down each and everything, whether it is a simple thing or important thing. Okay, you have to understand that one. The other most thing is, I am a junior. Why I need to bother? Let me play a game, or let me listen some music, something chit chat, and you are not present. You are physically present, but your mind is absent. Means you are gone. Why? All of a sudden, some request will come to you to prepare some document. Based on today's discussion, hey Chandra, can you prepare a document and send me in the next 2 hours? Your team lead might ask you, right? Is there any chance or no? Yes, definitely there is a chance. That is the reason when you are involved with any discussion with the business or any real time, you have to be very concentrate, and so that if any request come maybe later, you be able to write down and give. So as is we have defined. While we are understanding as is process, let's say they've explained you 10 functionalities. Currently, maybe in what Oracle system they're doing 10 functionalities. I'm not telling specific functionality, I'm just giving you a number 10 functionalities. By discussing with the business, your team lead understood in SAP application, we have only 9 functionalities available. Out of 10, 9 functionalities only available. The 10th functionality which is there in Oracle is not there in a SAP. Okay. So what does it mean? So as SAP application itself is not delivering that solution, that we call it as a gap, right? What is mean by gap? Can anybody tell me the definition?
Hello?
Yeah.
Principles are gap.
Hmm. No, not that accounting
Generally,
principle. That
Sir,
is different. I am asking this gap, functionality gap.
sir, actually, suppose the business I have, current business scenario have 10 business process, but when we comes to the SAP standard have made 9 business scenario. That means there are two business scenario is not meet the standard of the means not meet the current business scenario. That's two are a gap of the
Oh,
business.
okay. To understand others very easily, I'm telling. If some accountant is in a travel also, he is able to, if it is needed, he is able to post an invoice in his mobile also. That functionality is there in a Oracle. That functionality is not present. As an example, I'm telling, okay, to understand easily. That functionality is not there in SAP. This we call it as a gap between their existing current business process and the upcoming in SAP. This is not there. That we identified as a gap. This gap needs to be fulfilled. However, this is not there in SAP, but business will not leave you, right? However, they need that functionality. How we'll bring that gap, how we build that there is a topic we'll discuss further. So for now, you understand what is gap, which business is needed is not at present in a SAP. SAP is not delivering that solution to the business. That we call it as a gap. Understood? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with this, the finally what we will conclude is based on that we will prepare a to be document. What is mean by to be document?
Sir, to be documented with the future document of the business.
Let's say
What they have need.
uh, based on the discussion, we understand their as is process, current process, their expectations. We've listed a gaps. Based on that, how our let's say Tata Motors want to see their business in SAP S4 HANA, we prepare that as a to be document, and also we call it as a blueprint document. What is mean by blueprint? We'll close the today's topic with this conclusion. What is mean by blueprint? Can anybody tell me? Not only this SAP blueprint, you can tell me Whenever you go for a shopping also, you'll see somewhere a blueprint of that shopping mall, right? What does it mean?
It's like a brief idea, sir.
Brief idea about that premises, right? Likewise, this document, whatever a document we prepared here, and we made it as a blueprint. So you are not permanent to the organization. I am not the permanent to the organization. Nobody is permanent to organization, right? It means if you're in a job, if you're not in a job, their business has to run seamlessly, right? So once the implementation is done, whoever is going to handle this project, by seeing the blueprint, they can understand simply what is a business process these guys have implemented. Uh, Everything will be detailedly listed in this blueprint. By seeing that, others can understand this process very easily. In IT, okay, there is no guarantee. The person who is in current month, maybe next month he'll be put down and he go to some other project. We don't know. He'll get a nice opportunity, maybe on-site opportunity he'll get. Okay, there are multiple chances. That is the reason everything should be documented. So in a real time, small thing or big thing, if anything comes, your team lead must ask you to prepare a document and save it in a shared drive. Prepare a document and save it in a shared drive. Why he'll tell you this is a planning. This is a backup planning. Nobody is permanent. The team lead also not permanent, right? His manager will ask him to do something. We should have a proper planning. Blueprint is like it's a heart to the project. Whatever listed, whatever recorded here, based on this only, we will define. Okay. When you are learning SAP, what you will do based on your knowledge, you will start from a company code. You will define objects and you will go like that, right? But in real time, that is not the case. There is a logic to create any structure, organization structure also. If you're building something, there should be a business logic into it. Okay. So everything you'll understand slowly. We'll take one real time no, case to build this further. So for now, you understand what is blueprint, what is a project preparation, how the process gets started once you join.
Yes,
Slowly
sir.
you will
Yes,
understanding,
got
right?
it, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir, got it.
So tomorrow we will finish these three phases. And in SAP S4 HANA, no more SF methodology. Okay. In SAP S4 HANA, SAP told, hey, SF methodology is old. Why old and what is the problem in this methodology also, I'll tell you tomorrow. This is a lengthy, there are many problems in this SF methodology. Now in SAP S4 HANA, if you get a time, you just go through Activate. SAP S4 HANA. We have an Activate methodology now. Okay. What is Activate SAP? Okay. If you will get many documents in a Google also. Standard SAP documents only you will get. Tomorrow I'll give you the path also. How to browse this Activate SAP repository. There they are explaining very detailed. If you have time, you can go through and understand more and more. Okay. That we'll discuss tomorrow. For today, we are done. Before we log off for the day, are there any concerns on today's discussion?
No, sir, we are happy with this session.
Okay. Thank you. So we'll continue from tomorrow. Okay. From here.
Okay, sir.
I'll share you the documents. I have your email IDs, right? I'll share you that yesterday's and today's link also.